Hi everybody, it's Alicia with Expressions by Lish. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2026, and it's Coffee Break and Cards with Lish. If you're here, let me know, and so that I know I did everything right. I still don't trust myself with my cameras and my technologies for my live. So if you're here, please say hello, and that way I know it's working. And then I get to chat with you. That's the best part, right? I think so anyway. I love to craft with all you guys. So I'm just going to give it a couple seconds here and let people come in. I kind of feel like I missed a step setting this up, so we'll see. Yeah. I can always check on my phone too if it's working. So why don't we do that? What are you guys up to today? I have been getting ready for my first ever BOGO sale. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. I never thought that, for one, that I would get rid of my retired stuff, and two, that I would get rid of my Christmas and Halloween retired stuff. So this is huge for me. So that is tomorrow starting at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I will go live right here on this channel. And yeah. Okay, I think it says I'm live. Okay, good. Yay. I'm just making sure. I'm going to write a chat in here and say hi and send it. All right. Okay. And I see my chat. Okay, I just got to shut this off. Okay, so back to the BOGO sale. So that is, like I said, that is tomorrow. So, and I'll go live on this channel at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time, just like all my other lives are always at the same time, except for tomorrow is Friday, obviously. So it will be buy one, get one free. So what it means is when you spend a certain amount in my online store. So I'm just going to use $50 as an example. So when you spend $50 in my online store, you are able to receive a retired product equal to that value. And then you let me know what you would like to purchase. I will go, because then you're receiving my retired item for free. That's the buy one, get one free. So I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. So then I will go live on Friday and I will show everything that I am giving away for free, selling, however you want to say it. And then after that, I will put out a blog post that lists everything that I have for sale. So like, let's say you can't go to the live, you can still look at the list. You can send me an email, let me know what you want. Once you place your order in my online store and everything goes through and clears and everything, then I will then package your things up, figure out the shipping, and then I will send you a PayPal link for you to pay the shipping. Okay. Shipping is going to be anywhere between $8 and $12 depending on what you order. I'm going to try to keep it as low as possible. So like, let's say it's only $5 something, then I will use that amount. But for the most part, it's going to be anywhere in between, well, let's say anywhere in between $6 and $12. Obviously, if you buy everything I have, it's going to cost way more. If you live in my area, I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, you can pick your stuff up and not pay the shipping. So there's always that option. Okay, so today is Spooktacular DSP Day. Yay! I made projects using the Spooktacular DSP, and I am going to share all the projects I made. I will show them all, and then I am going to demonstrate the treat boxes. Okay? Yeah. Okay. If you are on my email newsletter, you will receive, whenever I do coffee break and cards with Lish, whatever I demonstrate or show, depending, you receive PDF instructions for free. I send those to my email subscribers. So if you're on my email newsletter, you receive them for free. If you would like to receive my free email newsletter, and then you also get the free PDF instructions whenever they go out. Sometimes I just kind of, some days randomly put one out. You just sign up for my newsletter. I have all the information on my website, expressionsbylish.com, and you receive the PDFs for free. And I am going to be sharing with you, demonstrating today, the treat holders. However, I was just so excited about making all of this stuff. Hi Lori, how are you? I was so excited about making all this stuff that I'm going to give PDF instructions for all. Oh, that's okay, Lori, you're late. I'm just glad you're here. I'm going to give PDF instructions for everything I show, but I'm only demonstrating the treat holders. Those PDF instructions will go out no later than Sunday night, maybe Monday. Okay, so no later than Monday morning newsletter, just with the BOGO thing going on, because I still have to write the instructions and everything yet. So, okay, I'm going to flip my camera, and let's see here. I did not set up my camera ahead of time, so hopefully everything is in the right position. Okay, let's go here. Yay, look at, you can see everything. Okay, so today we are going to be making a treat holder using the Gable boxes. And this is using the Spooktacular DSP. Everything today is using the Spooktacular DSP. All right, Lori, good deal. All right. And then I'm not demonstrating these because these are using the playful packaging. They're pretty cut and dry, but I will have instructions for how to make these. Aren't they cute? And then I put the little googly eyes on there. Yeah, I thought that was fun. Okay, then I'm going to demonstrate this really cool candy holder, and it holds like loose candy, you know, like individual candies. Okay, like this, you know, like loose Halloween candy. And then I just put a little bit of shred in there, and I did not have the right colored shred, so I just have like a craft paper shred, and then I just rub some Granny Apple Green ink on it. And then I'm going to show how to make these super cute paper clip decorations for this. And then I'm going to share with you this candy bar holder, and it's a slider, so you just pull this up, and this has the Reese's peanut butter cup in it. It would hold a Hershey bar, any type of bar, candy bar, like that's this size. So there's this, and this is cased, these two things right here. Terry Gaines is a Minnesota demonstrator, and she shared these with Minnesota demonstrators at the last event I was at. And I just thought, oh my gosh, these are so cute, and I mean so simple. You can decorate them or not decorate them. I chose not to decorate them because, you know, that's what the Spooktacular DSP is all about. Hi, Mom. Yeah, the candy bar holder, I haven't made one of these for, oh gosh, I want to say 15 years or more. I made a bunch of these, and when I say a bunch, I mean a bunch, for a bridal shower. And her favorite candy was Score candy bars. Hershey's Score, no, not Score, Symphony. Hershey's Symphony. It's a Hershey bar with toffee in it. And then we did the colors for her wedding and paper, and I made like, I don't know, 50 of them. Okay. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Okay, so then there's that. But I want to show what else I made using the DSP. So I made this cute banner. And I will, like I said, the measurements, I just used the banner dies. And then I just cut out using the banner dies and then that Spooktacular DSP. And then I did use the Oh My Fright and the Web of Fun bundles. Oh, I'm glad you're good. And then, so yeah, so all I did was I took that and I added some little white gel elements. And then I've always punched a hole when I make a banner. And by all means, you still can do that. But I just learned how to just take your, whatever your banner is, make a score line at the top 1/2 inch. You could go wider if your ribbon's wider. And then with that score line, you put your ribbon underneath and then your adhesive and you glue that down, and here's your banner. You don't have to punch holes in it if you don't want. And I like this using the DSP because the back is just the back of the paper. And I just thought, oh, thanks, Mom. I just thought this was super fun, and this will be hanging in my living room for Halloween. I always have this one place where I put banners, and that will be hanging there. So you will have instructions for that. It's pretty cut and dry, but then you'll have the the measurements and things like that. And then I made a sampler. This is a 12 by 12 sampler. It's in a 12 by 12 frame, and this I used the Spooktacular DSP, and I just cut squares and matted them, and I used a sheet of the DSP from the Oh My Fright suite, and then I took some Granny Apple Green two-tone, I don't know if you guys, how well you can see it, but I took some two-tone cardstock, and then use that star whirly that's in the Oh My Fright bundle, and then I sanded it to give that effect. And then I have the spider webs I cut using the paper that goes with the Violet suite. It's like a striped silver paper. And then I just added embellishments and spider webs behind. I put some ghosts tucked in behind there. And so, yeah, this is a 12 by 12 sampler. This could go in a scrapbook, and you could leave a spot in the center for a picture instead of this. This can be hung up or displayed. I think this would be, I had to do 12 by 12 because these faces are big, but I normally do a smaller one. Lori, I will be making one. Yeah, this DSP, you know, I fell in love with it right away, because I knew this paper would be so much fun to do things with. Okay, so there's that. And then, now you're not going to get the instructions for these, but I thought I'd share you with them anyway. I made these with the Spooktacular DSP, and these were from my display board for the event I went to a couple weeks ago. And I made a slimline card just by cutting squares out of the DSP of the faces. I used that same whirly embossing folder. I can't remember what it's called. I am so sorry. And then I took a white ink pad and ran over the top. And then I also added the white ink to that. And then the trick or treat. And then on the inside it says Happy Halloween. And then I put the spider webs in the corner. Clean and I split, which now I regret. Oh, yeah, you split your paper. Sometimes it's hard to share. Then I made this card with Frankie. And then this one opens like this. And then I just put the rest of the DSP that I cut off at the bottom, his shirt. And then there's this one. This one I cased from Melissa Falls. She sent us, for our swap, she sent this card. So I cased her on this one. And there's this. So these cards, you can make some, you know, like a fun fold, and it's, people are going to think, oh my gosh, look at all that work she went through. But it's really the DSPs doing all the work for you. Okay, then there's this one. And this one flips. I don't know if you can see that. And then it flips like this. And then it says, boo to you. So this one is like this. This is fun. And then this one does use the Oh My Fright, but it uses the Spooktacular DSP. And then this one opens like this. I just thought that was super. And this is a great display card for somebody to set up as a display. Okay. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people thought that, Lori. Okay, so let's get started. First thing that we're going to make is we are going to make this rounded candy holder. And I'm just going to grab what I need, and it's pretty easy. Okay, so you just need one piece of DSP. Any one that you have works, any one of the monsters or pumpkins. And then what you're going to do with this one is you are going to score at the bottom. Okay, so you're going to make sure, I saw recently somebody said on some video I was watching, I can't remember who, light means light line, doesn't cut. I thought that was smart. So you just want to make a light mark, not a cut. Okay, so a 1/2 inch. I'm lining up on the right side. So you can see on this side right here, I'm just going to a 1/2 inch and I'm scoring that. And it's DSP, I don't use a heavy hand, but I do go over it several times. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to score from the bottom up to your score line. You don't want to go past that score line. And then that's at 1 3/8. I'm going to put my light blade up there so I don't slice it. And then on the side of your blade is like a groove. You're going to line that up. You're going to go up. And then once this lines up with your score line, then you know you've gone far enough. Okay, so 1 3/8, 1 7/8. Okay, then you want to go to 4 1/8. Same thing, you're just going up to that score line. If you go a little over, that's okay. 4 1/8 and then 4 5/8. Okay. And there we have our scores. And we're going to take this and we're going to move that over here. I'm going to grab my scissors, and before I do anything, I'm going to cut. So you're going to take and make tabs on those score lines that you just put in. Maybe you can see better here. I'm not sure. Like that. I can see them better on the other side. And then right here and right here. Okay, so you have your tabs. These are for the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to take, just because then I don't forget, I'm going to burnish my score lines. Just like that. And then I'm just going to run it across. I mean, if you prefer to fold it first and then cut, by all means. Okay, now to get this, hi Peggy, out to lunch. Ooh, nice. I hope you went somewhere fun. Okay, so we are going to take our DSP, okay, and it's easier if it's set on the desktop or wherever your surface, your crafting surface, and I want to round this. Normally I hold it up like a smaller piece and then I round it, but it works easier if you go like this. So you're just kind of getting those fibers to loosen up in your paper so that it curves just a little bit easier for you. Okay, and you just do that a couple times. Okay, so there you have your circle or your round, you know. Now, one of the suggestions was to use a paper towel holder, like, not holder, the roll from paper towels, and put that in there so that it's, you know, easier. I didn't really need that. I suppose you could use your washi tape if you had that in your craft room. That's a little bit bigger, but that still would work, just to make it easier when you're gluing it down. And I might use the washi tape, we'll see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use liquid glue, and I am going to just take my more detailed nozzle, and I'm going to start where that score line is. So I'm going to fold that under so you can see, and then I'm just going to run some glue. I just used this, you guys, seriously. Okay, let's see if that helps. You know it's going to come just flying out now. Yep. Okay, yeah, it was clogged a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to run that like that. Okay. Then, I want to get this glue off my finger. Okay, then I'm going to take this, and we are going to fold around. And you can, like I said, put a cylinder shape on the inside, and then that way you can easier to get that glue. You can use tear and tape. I have found lately with tear and tape that it's just, I don't know. I've been using liquid glue more, but by all means use tear and tape. And then that way I just have a little bit more wiggle room with liquid glue. Okay, so we're just going to give that a minute or a second, not a whole minute, my goodness. Okay, so we have that. Now we are going to take our bottom, I just folded, and we're going to make our bottom of our little round box. Okay, and it's going to go like that. So I'm going to take liquid glue and I'm going to put it on this flap like that. And I'm going to squeeze this together. It's just like folding a box together. Okay, and we're going to fold that shut. I'm just going to hold that. So what's nice about this is it's just easy to have these, and you can hand them out. They have, you know, like one of your neighbors that you know the best on Halloween, or one of the neighbor kids or whatever. You can hand them like a special treat that nobody else gets, right? And it's just paper. You can use any DSP. I mean, anything. This is just a 6x6 piece of paper, and see now, and it stands, which I really like. So like, let's say you wanted to make them for a bunch of people at work, easy peasy, right? And then you just take your candy. I have the candy in this one, and then I just have an assortment, and then you just put it in there, and they could display this, or the kids could keep it on their dresser, whatever. And then depending on how much candy you have is how many shreds that you want. You don't even have to put the shreds in. And then I did do the paper clip to decorate. I just really thought this was really cute. Add-on is the paper clip with the little sign in the back, and then that just goes like that. So I'm going to show you how I did the paper clip. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to put this pin back in here because that really does help. Okay, so for your paper clip, what I did was I used punches, circle punches. Use whatever one you have. I used a layering set. Well, it's not a set, but a 2-inch punch and a 1 7/8 punch. You punch 2 with black and 1 out of white. So the white is the 1 7/8. So I punched 3 circles. Okay, and then I stamped Happy Halloween on this one. You can decorate however you'd like. And then what you're going to do is you want a larger size paper clip. The small ones do not work because I tried. They're just not long enough. Well, hello from Calgary. Thank you so much for joining today. Yeah, Mom, I love Halloween stuff too. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got another Halloween shirt on, and I might just have my Halloween leggings on too. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to set the paper clip right there. Then I am going to use, if I can find them, because you know I think I'm so organized and I set everything out, and then I don't remember. Oh, this is where I put them, where I put stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use black dimensionals, and when you order black dimensionals, you get a pack that has the large ones and the small ones in it, and I use a lot of black at Halloween time. Okay, this is how we are going to attach the paper clip. Okay, we are going to start with mini dimensionals, and we are going to put 2 minis in between the paper clip. Not on it, but just somewhere for the paper clip to hang on to. Okay, then we're going to take a larger, one of the regular size dimensionals, and we're going to place that right above the paper clip. So that way the paper clip won't move. Okay, now I'm going to finish off with my dimensionals, and I'm going to add 5. Okay, now we're going to peel all these off. Make sure when you're putting your dimensionals on, when you push, make sure they're pushed down, because it will make it easier to peel them off. If you have a hard time peeling your dimensionals off, you can take your pick tool and just remove them like this, if you have a harder time getting your backings off. Okay, so we have our paper clip in place. And then we're going to take our other circle and we're just going to lay that right over the top. And now you have a paper clip. Now this would work for anything. You could use these to make tags on gift bags. You don't have to always use a circle. You can use anything. But just remember, you need 2 to fit together, and you want dimensionals that will go on the inside and around it. Okay. Yeah, I dressed for the video today. Okay, then I am going to take my Happy Halloween, and I'm going to put dimensionals on that, and I'm just going to use 3 on this. And I've already stamped, this is the sentiment from Oh My Fright, and we're going to put that right in the middle. And then I'm going to use the adhesive backed bats and ghosts for decorating. In this set there are ghosts you can die cut, or I mean, well, there's ghosts and there's bats. So I'm going to put one of the bat embellishments there, and I'm going to angle one down and put one right there. So then you can put your, here's my shreds. Like I said, you don't even have to put that in there. It just kind of makes it, finishes it off. And then this is just decoration for the back. What do you guys think of that? I think that is so much fun. I am definitely gonna do this with gift bags. I just think that is so cute, and such a cute way to add just a little bit extra for somebody. And then if somebody wants to keep it, they can use it as a, if they read paperback books, or they can use it as a bookmark or whatever. So there is that one. Next we are gonna make the candy bar holder, the one that slides out. I'm going to put this stuff away here, set it aside, right, so that I don't know where it is later. Oh, thanks Debbie, thanks Lori, thanks Peggy. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, you guys. Okay, so I decided for this I would use Frankenstein's monster, and then we have our ribbon. So you need 1 piece of 6x6 DSP. You need 18 inches of ribbon. I'm going to move this so I don't lose it. And then we're going to, and a hole punch. And now I am in love with these, you guys. the 3 assorted hole punches. You have the one that makes like the line, the one that makes the little tabby thing with that little half circle, and then a circle punch. These I use constantly. Oh, thanks a lot, Cindy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for joining today. Okay, and then like I said, you need the 18 inches of ribbon and something to punch a hole. Okay, so what's nice with this one is it's the same exact dimensions as our scoring as this, except for you just make whole score lines instead of just a little tiny one. So I'm going to start at the bottom again, okay, and I'm going to score at the bottom at a 1/2 inch, just like that. And then because it's, instead of pushing hard, I just go over a couple times. Okay, then you're going to spin your paper and you are going to go again at 1 3/8, which is just 2 lines past the quarter, 1 1/4. So that's 1 3/8. Then you move it to 1 7/8, which is the 2 lines before 2. Okay. Then you move it to 4 1/8, which is 2 lines after 4. And then 4 5/8, which is 2 lines after the half. Okay, and I'm going to say those again. So it's 1 3/8, 1 7/8, 4 1/8, and 4 5/8. And then I'm going to again cut my tabs here and here. Okay. Then I'm going to burnish my score marks, just like that. Just want to make sure everything's good and crisp. You could just fold them, but when making a 3D project, I think it's best to have the nice crisp lines. Everything just seems to fold together better, or holds. You know, it's just easier to work with when you got the nice crisp edge. Okay, and then I'm going to take these and I'm going to burnish these as well. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing as we did the last time, except for I'm going to, when I'm figuring out where I want my glue to go, I want the glue to go on the shorter side. Okay, so I mean, I want the shorter side to go like this, the longer side to go over the top. I'm going to take my glue. I should be using my ghost glue. Okay, and again, we're just going to make that small line. Okay, and I put it in the wrong spot. Huh. Well, let's see. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, I put it in the wrong spot. Oh, of course. Here, let's do this. Okay, let's do that again. How about we put it here? That make more sense? Makes more sense. Okay, sorry you guys. Just in a zone and I was just putting glue everywhere. Okay, so there you have that. And then, okay, hold on. Because I had that glue on there, it stuck together. Or I did something wrong. You know what? I'm going to start over because I can, right? Let's start over, you guys, because I did something way wrong. Okay. This way you get an extra lesson, right? Okay. 1/2 inch at the bottom. 1 3/8. 1 7/8. You guys will have these measurements down pat. 4 1/8. and then 4 5/8. Okay. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, we're gonna fold these up. I'm gonna fold them first, what the heck, right? Because now I have glue everywhere. Dimensionals are sticking to me. You know how many of these I've made, you guys, and then I go on a video and I make it and it doesn't work. What the heck? I get overconfident, I guess. Okay, let's fold this and burnish that. And then we're going to cut these just like that, that, and like that. Okay. So now we have Frankie. And I gotta rub my fingers here for a second because they are so full of glue. Okay, because here's my one that I sent with Paul to the grocery store to buy my candy bars because we do not have, okay, so it goes like that. That's what I was doing wrong. Okay, let's try that again. So it goes like that, and goes like that. But you don't want to do it like I did it, where you glue it together like that. Okay, so this makes your box. So you're basically making a box. Okay, like that. And it doesn't matter, I think, which way you do it. I don't know why I thought that mattered, but it doesn't. But I am going to do it this way. Okay. So I'm going to put glue on this edge, and we're going to try this again, you guys. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to go like this and like this and hold it together. Whenever I see this paper, and I know it's not the same colors, but when I see this design, I think of Charlie Brown's shirt. The little things, the rickrack looking thing. Okay, so there you have that. Okay, then you're gonna take your little flappies and we're gonna add glue onto this one. And like I said before, you can do tear and tape. I just like liquid glue better for projects because it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, and then we have that. Yeah, I seem to have a lot of do-overs lately though. All right, I'm gonna just kind of trim these up a little bit because they're sticking off the edge. You could do that before, miter your sides before, but I'm just gonna take these and I'm just gonna trim them off. Okay, so you have that. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to pinch these together, and I am going to use the punch that's the straight line. I'm going to open that up and together, and you know me, you guys, I eyeball everything. I'm going to put this in here and I'm just eyeballing this. That looks about centered, and I'm going to punch them both together. Okay, now I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to thread this through both sides like this. Just get them even. And then you take your candy bar, and now Paul gave me several choices. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, he bought this thing, but I think this might be too big. A Kinder bar, but it might fit. I think it's a little too thick, but yeah, I think this one's too, oh no, maybe not. You could do one of these Kinder bars like that. That fits in there. And then he bought these other candy bars. Either one of these will fit. He went to Aldi for this. And then you just are going to tie a knot. And a slip knot would probably be the best, but I cannot tie a slip knot to save my soul. Okay, so I'm just tying a knot. Just like that. And then I am going to trim these ends off. Whoops, wrong scissors. Just like that. And like that. And there you have your pull. They don't have to untie anything. They can just pull it out and slip it off, and the ribbon stays with the treat holder. Just like that. What do you guys think of this one? I love this one. I have made these, like I said before, but yeah, isn't that so sweet, so simple? You can decorate this obviously any way you'd like, or leave it as is, because I think this is great. And it's a good way to use up your 6x6 DSP, or you have 12x12, just cut it to 6x6, right? Okay, the next thing is, I love this. This is the treat box. This is the gabled treat box. Let me show them to you. It's these right here. Yes, Peggy, they are. Oh, thanks, Lori. I do. I love them. They're so easy. Okay, so these are the treat boxes. Let me put this pin in here because I'll end up stabbing myself. And they are called White Gable boxes, and you get 10 in a pack. Okay, so we are going to take one out, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's not hard, obviously, because the box is made for you, but to get the paper cut and how I colored the sides and things like that. And then when we're done, I will show you 3 others that I made. One Halloween one, one Christmas one, and one fall one. So you might want to stick around and see the other ones. Okay. So, to do this box, to get it so that, here, and then I don't know if you know this, but I found this out, like when you take the sides and, well, maybe I don't. It worked before. Yeah. You push and lift. Push and lift. Okay, so there's your box. And then this way, when I did this, put the green on there, it doesn't get on the inside of the box. That's, you know, whatever. I just really liked this. Okay, and then you close it up, and this holds a lot. So like I said, that's why I did a Christmas one. This would be great like to put like some fuzzy slippers in. You can get Halloween ones and put those in, like, and some candy, or, you know, whatever. But I want to share this with you. I saw a demonstrator do this, and I thought she was the smartest person in the world, and I want to tell you her name. I know it's Glinda, but I cannot think of her name. Okay, so you take any scrap piece of paper that you have. This is just printer paper, copy paper, whatever, and you slide it in your box like this, so that it's kind of hard with the white on the white, but you just slide your paper in like that. Okay, then you take your blending brush, and because of the green in the leaf, I did Granny Apple Green so that it coordinates with the paper. Okay, so you just take your blending brush with Granny Apple Green, and you're going to go over it, right? Just like that. You know, you're going to want more ink, but I want to show you guys, I'm going to show you both ways. On this side, I'm going to do this way. I just want to share with you what I've found out today. So you're just going to take this just like you do anything else, and you're just going to blend it. You can go lighter or darker, whichever that you feel. If you want, you don't even have to go all the way down, because we're going to be covering that with DSP. But maybe you don't want to put the DSP on. Maybe you just want the whole thing to be green. You can do that. And you're just going to go light. And don't worry about going over, because you're covering this up. So even if you go below, you know, this line, don't worry. If you go below that line, don't worry. And we are just putting color on. Just basic blending. Okay, and then I'm going to just turn this like that, and then we're just going to blend color right on the box. Just like that. I really like how this looks. And like I said, you could go darker, lighter, whichever you like. So then, now you want a candy bar? I know the feeling. You know how hard it is for me not to be eating them Reese's peanut butter cups? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just leaving the paper right in here. Okay, I'm just flipping this over. And then you do the same thing. But I want to show you guys something that I found out today when I was making a fall box. Take your ink spot. If you have ink spots, you could use your whole big ink pad. But, you know, I never use my ink spots. As you can tell, this one's not even open. So, okay. Just take your ink spot. Now watch this. And you're just going to take it and you're just going to go like this. But I'm not going to leave it like this. Okay. Just going to take my ink, and you can tell, you guys, this isn't Granny Apple Green. I'm not going to lie. But I couldn't find a Granny Apple Green ink spot to save my soul. Now, I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm just going to take the lines out, and I'm going to blend that ink, and look at how less time that takes. And you get a really nice color coverage. I'm going to do it again because, like I said, you can go as low or as high as you'd like. You could easily do this with your ink pad, but I think it's nice to have something smaller to hold on in your hand. And it's fast, I think anyway. And then I'm just using my blending brush right away. You want to go right away before it dries. And then you have that. So there's a little fast tip. If you're doing a lot of these, this would make a big difference if you're mass producing. Just like I said, just take that ink pad, rub it over there, and blend it. Okay, and there you have your box. And look at the difference in the color. I mean, I know they're not that much different. This is retired. This is Parakeet Party, because I couldn't find Granny Apple Green. But this is so cool. Look at the color difference. Isn't that neat? And it's pretty close to the same color. So I'm just going to do that real quick over this, because I'll use this at Halloween time for sure. I'm just going to take again so that you guys can see this tip. Like I said, I think if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you have ink spots. And I don't know if you guys, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, did you notice that in the next, not this one, but the next Paper Pumpkin, so September's, you are going to get your ink spots are going to be the new design ink spots, and they are so cool. I have some of them. They're really nice. They're easier to hold on to use. Yeah. And see, now look at, isn't that cool? I just think that's really neat. Okay, and there we have that. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to close this up. And now I'm going to show you how to cut this paper. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do to cut this paper is we are going to take an inch off of each side. Okay. Now, you want your paper to be 3.5 inches. But we're not going to cut here, because if we cut it right here, we're going to cut the face right off. Okay? So what we're going to do is, I know that I want to use this part at the top. Okay? The top of the box, this section right here, is 1.5 inches. So we for sure need a 1.5 inch piece. So I'm going to, 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off at 1.5. Okay, save this. Then you want this to be 3.5, but look it, you still have that. So you're going to turn it and you're going to cut it this way at the bottom. Okay, there you have your jack-o'-lantern that fits right in there. So 1 inch off of each side, 1.5 inches off the top, then put your paper in to 3.5 and cut it, and then you will have your 3.5 by 4 inch square. Well, it's not a square, front. Now, if you want to do on this one, I just did pumpkin pie cardstock for my sides. I'm going to use some DSP on this one. And then, so you are going to need 2 sheets for this if you want to have a double-sided box. If you don't, you could just use pumpkin pie on the back and then pumpkin pie up here. So that's totally up to you if you don't have enough DSP. Just remember to save your top piece. We're going to do the same thing with our other piece. We're going to cut 1 inch off of this side, and we're going to cut 1 inch off of this side. Like that. We're going to cut 1.5 inches off the top. And then we are going to put this up to 3.5 and cut the bottom off. And remember to keep the top pieces. Now, I want to use DSP for the sides, and the back of the Frankenstein monster is orange and black. The back of this is black and orange. Well, I want it to go with the pumpkin theme, and I want it more of the orange. So I am using this for my sides. Okay, the sides of the box are 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, so I want, do I want my stripes to go this way or this way? I think this way. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2.5. Okay, by 3.5. And then we have that side. And then we'll do the other one, 2.5. And you could go just a dash shorter. So you could go, instead of 2.5, you know, because of the score lines in here, you could go 2 7/16 if you'd like. I don't think it really, I just go 2.5. I don't want to make anything too difficult. And 3.5. And otherwise, if you're using any other DSP, it's just basic measurement cutting, but because we wanted the jack-o'-lantern face, we had to, you know, be like, have a plan of how we were going to do it. I want to pick all this stuff up, moosh it over, and we'll glue these on here. So do you guys do like Halloween? Do you do cards? Do you do treat holders? Do you decorate? What kind of fun Halloween stuff do you guys craft? I'd love to know. Okay, so we are going to add our DSP that we just cut. And we're just going to put those right on. And now you easily could just leave this green. It could be, that's the leaves, right? Absolutely, you could. And we're going to take our side piece, put that on the side. Okay, we're going to flip it over, do the same thing. And put our, these remind me kind of like, I don't even know if they still use them because I haven't had a Happy Meal in forever, but do Happy Meals still come in a box? Because this reminds me of that. Okay, I swooshed all my paper over. Peggy does full-size candy bars to hand out and decorates, and then treat boxes for friends and family, and of course cards. Yes, as a recipient of those, they are very, very cute. Okay, then we're going to put our other piece of DSP on there. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to take our piece. Now, if you want to, you could like make a score line, cut it. I'm going to just put them on there and trim off as needed. And I'm just going to kind of line, there's a little line on here that's like the little vine. And I'm just going to line that up on here. Okay, I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing here. And like I said, this one does, you need 2 pieces of DSP if you decide to go double-sided. It's not necessary, but okay, so now we are going to trim off our little corners here. Just like that. And like that. I just thought this was easier instead of messing around with the trimmer. Okay, now this one's a little bit trickier because you got the handle in the way. So I just kind of, you know, whichever way, just kind of turn my, kind of like your fussy cutting. And I'm going to trim that. And then this other one here. Do the same thing. You could cut from the bottom and go up. It's just a little bit awkward. But that's probably a little bit easier. Just feels awkward. Oh, okay, in buckets. All right. Okay, so we have this. Now, I am going to burnish my, you could do this before you decorate. I just want to make sure that it folds together. Nice. But if you just take them too and do this a couple times, that works too. Or you just kind of fold it in, go like that, fold it, you know, in. You can do it that way as well. Okay, so the trick to closing these, put the flaps in first. I'm gonna hold it this way. Put the flaps in first, then you put this one down, and then you put this one in. Oops, I did it wrong. Don't listen to me. Put this in first, then the flaps. Don't listen to me. Now listen to me. Put this one out that has the cutout, then put your flaps in, then take this one that has the tab and go like that, and then you get that type of closure on the bottom. And then again, I'm just folding these in, and I'm going to fold the handles too, because the handles fold. Okay, and then we take this, put them together evenly, and then you want to put your, and this is just a push down and up and there, and now you can decorate it as you'd like. I did cut Trick or Treat out in Granny Apple Green, and stamped on it. I used my white pen for little marks on there, the little gel marks, and I did a little bow. But it's up to you, however you would like to decorate your box. You can decorate your box. What do you guys think? Instead of just like the white box, I think this is fun. It's definitely easy. If you were hosting like a Halloween party with treats and whatever, it would be fun to have everything match. Your banner with the DSP. You have different kinds of treats. If you're playing games, and you could, you know, different things like that. Then you have this one here that's, and I just love how this one stands up. So cute. Okay, and then we had the banner. We can pull that out again if I could find it. And then we have this. I kind of just folded it all together, which is nice because then that folds together. So then you have your banner. Oops, upside down. So then you have your banner that matches. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. And I really liked this, doing it this way instead of punching the hole. I just really liked that. It seemed easier to me. Okay, and then I decorated just on the ends. Like I said, and then it just folds together so nice. Okay, I promised that I would show the other boxes. Okay, so I made this one using the Oh My Fright DSP with the kitties. And then I used just the stripe. And then on the sides I used the star and swirl. And I did the same thing on the back. And then I cut kitties at the top to match the DSP kitty in the witch's hat. And then I did a banner tag. This is very vanilla because there's very vanilla in this paper, and basic black. And then I took the twine. I know in my last class I told you how I dyed my vanilla twine, and so I have vanilla, basic black, and then the pumpkin pie. So there's that one. If you didn't have this DSP, or if you just wanted a variety, there's that. Okay, and then, now this is new product alert. Okay, this stuff is available in the new catalog that I'm going to be showing. Okay, this uses the sunflower paper, the new sunflower paper, with, I use the sticker sheet. If you order the DSP with the sticker sheet. So I did the same thing. I did Cajun Craze on the top. I did the DSP, and then like I said, I used the sticker sheet, but I didn't want a sticker, so I just used embossing powder on the back, and so it's no longer a sticker. I punched a hole, and then I used the new twine. Well, it's not really twine that's coming out. And then I used one of the stickers from the sticker sheet and just popped it on a 2-inch Cajun Craze circle. I just think that is so pretty. Oh, and then on this I used Golden Glow cardstock, and then I used the sunflower embossing folder. I just absolutely love that sunflower embossing folder. And I just like that. You brighten my day. This is such a cute little, like I said, a lot of stuff makes a great gift. Then I had to do a Christmas one. So this is using the new it's called It's Christmas Time, and it's using the new caroling mice. Aren't they cute? And then there is a sheet in the DSP that's cut apart. So this right here with the wreath is one of the tags I cut apart. Then in that same DSP are little gift boxes. I fussy cut those out, and then I just glued it onto Pool Party cardstock. And then this is the new twine. It's Peaceful Pine, Cherry Cobbler, and white, and it's braided. Sorry, I'm not in the camera. It is, so put that on your wish list, you guys. You definitely need to have that. So for this box, I used the other side of the DSP on the sides, and then I just used Cherry Cobbler on the top. I didn't put DSP up here, but I was thinking this would be cute to use Pool Party or white, and use an embossing folder on the tops instead of on the sides like I did with the, you could just do it right here and here. So what do you guys think of the other items? I just think that's super cute. Okay, let's show all of our boxes. We have Halloween, we have fall, we have Christmas, and then we have these cute little guys that I put the googly eyes on. These little treat guys. And like I said, and then the candy holders. All right, you guys, so you should be all set for Halloween, treat making, and these could be used for anything. Table favors, any holiday, a birthday, anything. Just use up what you have, use your DSPs, and you don't need a lot of other supplies. You just really need some paper and some glue, and something to cut with, obviously. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I just want a quick talk again about my sale that starts tomorrow. Because I was talking about it at the beginning, and I don't know if you guys were here at the beginning, but my BOGO sale starts tomorrow. So it's buy one, get one free. And what that means is I am making space in my craft room for more stuff. So I'm getting rid of my retired things. So how it works is you would place, I'm just using a dollar amount, okay, $50. I'm just picking an amount. You place a $50 order in my online store, you get $50 worth of product, but you pick what you want, okay? I'm just not going to send you whatever. So on Friday, when I go live on my YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time tomorrow, I will show everything that I am selling. And then if you are watching live, you can in the comments say, Be Jolly stamp set sold, or sold Be Jolly. And then once you place your order in my online store and that all goes through, then you get that Be Jolly and then about like whatever else you want. And then once that, then I will, after everything is done on Sunday, so this goes Friday from 2 to Sunday at midnight, but I'm doing my live at 2. It should take about 2 hours. You don't have to watch the live if you don't, but it's first come, first serve. So if there's something that you really are hoping to see, like I'm not saying what I have yet. Okay, so when you come and watch me live, you'll see. And then you say sold. I see it in the comments. The first person that it comes up as, they're the first. If you still want it, still say sold, you know, Be Jolly. And then I will go, like, then let's say you change your mind, you don't want that, or somebody doesn't place their order, I will then come back to you and say, did you still want this? Okay, so after my live on Friday, I will have a blog post and I will put that on my Facebook page, and it will be a blog post. So if you don't do Facebook, you'll still get the blog, you know, see it on my blog. You just go to expressionsbylish.com and you can find all of my links there in one spot. You can find my blog, my ordering, everything, my YouTube channel, everything is on that website. Okay, so you go to my blog, I will have a list. It will have pictures and dollar amounts of everything that I'm, you know, that's like that I'm selling. Okay, you then go on there and say, you know, send me an email. I will have instructions in the blog. Send me an email and say, I would like blah blah blah. There'll be a form. You click on the form, you fill it out, you say, my name is Alicia Markfort. There's a place for your first and last name, a place for your mailing address, because I need your shipping address, and I need your email address. Okay? Then you put your email, then you say, I want these items. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? You then just fill out the form. I automatically get the form. You don't have to send it, nothing. You just click on that link. Okay? But I do want you to email me and say, I filled out the form. This is what I want, in case something would happen. But you just make sure and email me that this is what you want. Okay? After Sunday, so Monday, when I go through everything and pack everything up, I will then send you an invoice. It will be a PayPal link that you click on and you pay. You do not have to have PayPal. You can use your credit card, whatever, and then you pay for your shipping. So shipping is going to be anywhere from $6 to $12, depending on what you order. You know, I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. If you're local and you don't want me to ship it and you want to pick it up, then by all means you can pick it up and you don't have to pay the shipping. I will have stamp sets, so bundles, dies, embossing folders, DSP, ribbon, embellishments. Anything that I have that's retired is going to be up for grabs. So join me tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's going to be fun. So get your wish list ready. The webs, go on to my online store right now. There's still last chance items. There's still the paper sale for select DSP and select cardstock. If there's something that you've been wanting, like maybe you want this Halloween DSP, or maybe you want the ghosts and bats embellishments. I'm showing them to you, but you can't see. Or you don't have black dimensionals and you'd like to try them and see what, it's kind of nice. You can't see them. Or maybe you want the black ribbon that I used today. So yeah, just if you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. Just be gentle with me. This is my first ever BOGO sale. I know demonstrators have been doing it since forever. This is my first time. I have a very, very good teacher, Melissa Faust. I talked to her yesterday for about an hour and a half. It was a wonder. I just love her, and I get going and we chit chat. But anyway, we did mostly talk about BOGO sale. Well, maybe for the first part. But anyway, I have a very good person that I go to, and she has given me a lot of really good advice, and she has done sales. So I will be doing, if you have done Melissa Faust BOGO sale, it's pretty much, I'm doing pretty much how she does hers. So all right, you guys, well, thank you so much for joining me, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Talk to you later. Bye.